You need to prepare a portfolio. A disclaimer, not everyone is using a portfolio. However, I highly encourage you to have one, especially if you're a beginner and pumapasok ka pa lang sa industriya. I highly encourage you to have one. Why? Because if there's one thing that the virtual industry is different from the traditional setting, it's the fact that dito, mas importante ang proof kesa sa papers. So what does it mean? Ibig sabihin, kahit sinabi mo sa resume mo na may master's degree ka, if you cannot prove na kaya mo talaga gawin yung sinasabi mong kaya mong gawin, it wouldn't matter. What the clients are always looking for is a proof na they can count on you to get the job done. That's where portfolios come in. Now, at the same time, while it's good for the clients, it also protects you. Kasi having a portfolio can sometimes prevent you from getting scammed. When I was starting, I remember that I was asked to come up with an article. I think it was a 1,000-word article about, I think it was for a fitness niche. I was applying for a writing stint then. And syempre, dahil I was really hoping to get accepted and gusto ko talaga magkaroon na ng work. Syempre, ako gawa naman, nagsulat ako, and syempre, kailangan rush kasi kinabukasan kailangan masubmit mo na ganyan. And I really slaved over getting that piece out. Diba? Nag-exert ako ng time, ng effort, ng energy to create something. And then, after nun, siniso na ako. They didn't even reply back. When I handed them the document, the article, hindi na sila nag-reply, hindi na sila nagpa-follow up. Ang hirap kasi nag-exert ka ng effort, nag-exert ka ng time, ng energy mo to come up with something. Tapos, hindi mo na mababawi yun kasi it's virtual, it's electronic. Nasa kanila na yung pinaghirapan mo. They can use it for whatever way they want it to. And wala kang habol, and you didn't get paid. Diba? Now, when you have your own portfolio, usually what I would say sa cover letter ko is if you want to see sample of my work, then here, you can check out my work dito. And then I link it to my portfolio. And they can at least have an idea of who I am as a person. And at the same time, they can get an idea of how I work. Like, kasi makikita nila because creating a portfolio also takes time and it also takes skill. So makikita nila ano ba yung mga things that you're capable of. So that's why I feel that especially for a beginner, to be more competitive, you need to create your own portfolio. Okay? So ano ba yung mga typical portfolios? If you're a writer, you can have maybe a blog and then i-post mo yung mga articles mo. If you're a videographer, you can have your own YouTube channel. If you're, let's say, a graphic artist, you can have a website na dun may papakita yung mga sample artworks mo. That's yung parang different ways that you can showcase what you can actually do in the virtual setting. Okay, now creating a portfolio is actually easier for services that are heavy on the creative side. So ito yung mga work na kailangan ng creative output. Let's say you're a writer or a graphics designer or a video editor. Lahat to creative work, and pag ganito yung service na in-offer mo, it's easier for you to showcase it, and hence it's easier for you to create your portfolio. However, merong mga services kasi hindi ganon. Let's say you're a bookkeeper or you're an IT personnel or a real estate VA. Pag mga ganitong instances, it's quite different yung paggawa natin ng portfolio. And I will be showing you a way to do that. So let's begin. The very first thing that we're going to do to build our portfolio is to create a website. And we're going to do that by creating an account sa WordPress.com. Now, you can actually build your portfolio sa ibang sites then. For example, you can choose blogger.com or wix.com. It's all up to you. However, for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to use wordpress.com. And this is because WordPress is the most common website na ginagamit ng mga business owners. So it pays that you know how to use and navigate this platform. The very first thing that we're going to do is just go to wordpress.com, and then from there, press the Get Started button. So you have two options, the one up top or the one in the middle. And when you press that, it will give you a form. As you can see here, bale, this is step 1 of 4 na kailangan mong gawin for you to be able to create your account. This form is the very first one, and we're going to talk about the different boxes one by one. The very first one is for you to choose your site name. The site name is going to be the address of your website. Ito yung itatype nila sa Google if you're trying to look for your website. Ito din yung ibibigay mo na address sa clients if they're asking for your portfolio. Now, if you're thinking of having multiple niches, I would suggest for you to think of a website name na kayang mag-cover nung mga niche na gusto mong i-support. For example, if you want to be a social media manager, but at the same time you also want to be Amazon VA, then think of something na would be appropriate for both of them. This way, you can just use the same portfolio regardless of the niche ng service mo. You don't have to create a new one every single time. Okay? So moving on, the next one will be for you to choose your category. Now for us, we can just simply say that it's for a freelance service. The next one is kung ano yung goal ng website natin. So for us, we can choose showcase our portfolio, and it's the very last option. So just put a check mark dun sa box for your choice. And then for this one naman, it's just asking us to rate yung proficiency natin with navigating the website. So if medyo newbie ka pa, just select 1. And then if you're really good at it, select 5. This is actually okay. Wala namang bearing to. They just want to know how proficient are you in using their site. So don't think too much about it. If you're just newly starting sa paggamit ng website nila, it's totally fine. Once you fill out the form, just click on continue and then choose the free service. So as you can see here, ipapakita niya sa iyo yung mga iba't ibang options that you have. However, this one lang yung free. Pag free yung kinuha mo na site, ang difference niya lang is, as you can see here, merong wordpress.com at the end of your name. But it's going to be okay. Parang it's enough na for the meantime for you to show your portfolio. However, if you want na gusto mong .com lang sa'yo, like for example, if you want 𝗬𝗵services.com, you can have the option to pay a fee for that. Si WordPress, meron siyang iba't ibang plans and iba't ibang services na kasama dun sa plan na yon. And usually, yung domain is free na. But if you don't want to pay for that, just click on the Start with Free at the very bottom and you're good to go. Okay, so this is the last step. And for this one, you just need to enter your email address and select a password. And then, once you put that in, just click on continue and your account is already created. Now, this is how it's going to look like. If this is your first time to create a website, I would suggest for you to ignore everything and just focus here. As you can see here on the left-hand side, itong site, dito lang tayo magpo-focus. So if you click the drop-down, we have here the pages and the post. So ito lang muna yung gagamitin natin for the sake of our portfolio. Okay? If you want to view your site, you can actually check it here. Ano ba yung difference ni pages and ni posts? So let's go and check the site para mapakita ko sa inyo. Now, as you can see here, our site is very simple. Of course, this is totally editable. Pwede mo siya i-change, pwede mo siya i-customize. But for the sake of this tutorial, we'll just leave it simple muna para hindi siya overwhelming. Okay? For the pages, pages are static. Ito yung mga steady lang na pages. So what happens is, available sila all the time. So some samples of your pages will be your About You, your contact page. These are actually static pages. These are always available. Si post naman, this is actually a sample of the post. Si post, they are listed in chronological order. So it means that, for example, as you can see here, this one, I created it no 2018 pa. Now, if I create a post today, what will happen is this one will go down and then yung new post will be at the very top. So yun yung nangyayari. Every time you create a new post, na bumababa yung mga luma. Yung bago yung lagi nauuna. So that's the difference. Si pages, gagamitin natin if there are certain information na we want to be readily available para kila clients. And then, yung post naman, sila yung gagamitin natin for us to create content para sa portfolio natin.
What we're going to do is to create our About You page. And to do that, just go over to your WordPress account and then itong site, yan, just click on the drop down and then click on Pages. From here, click on this red button, Add New Page. Ayan siya. And this is a new page for you. This is where you put the title. Ito yung magiging yung web page address. And this is where you type. So, this part, this block, itong box na to, yan, it's very much just like your Word document. So, you can add content like audio, video, etc. Yan. And this is how you control your paragraph. Kung heading siya, yan siya, pre-formatted, ganyan. It's the same thing, kung bold, italics, your bullets, your numbers, your links, kung iba-block quote mo siya, the alignment, ito, yan, strike through, underline, ayan, justify mo, the colors, yan, paste as text, quick clear mo yung formatting, gamit yung special characters, indent. So, yan siya. Ito yung basic text. And then, if you want to use HTML, kung mas proficient ka doon, you can do that. Just click on this one. And then, dito, pwede mo nang i-add yung codes mo. But for this one, we're just going to use the regular text one. Once you have it na, so lagay lang natin, for example, About You. The About You page kasi, it's very much like your job board profile. So, kung ano yung nakasulat mo doon, if you don't want to create a new one, you can just simply copy and paste. So, let me just get mine, for example. Yan. So, halimbawa, papaste ko lang siya, then I just, okay. But, you need to also introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Suarez. So, since it works like a blog, try to be sort of, you can use a friendly tone, hindi super professional, it's okay. But it's all up to you. And so, edit mo lang yung spacing. And then yon, if you want to add images, just click mo lang tong add and then yan, click mo lang yung media library. But you can do without the image. It's nice if you would have it, but if you don't want to add, it's all okay then. So once it's ready na, you can just go here up top and then click on preview para makita mo kung paano siya. Yan, so ganyan siya. Okay? Then if you're happy with it, close mo lang and then go to this red button and then click on publish. Publish immediately, public, and then publish. Makikita mo, naglo-load siya yan. And there you go.
Okay? So, that's it for the WordPress. Iiwanan muna natin siya.
The next step that we're going to do is to actually look for content. And we'll be talking about that next.
Okay, so like what we mentioned earlier, it's easier for you to create the content kapag your work is heavy on the creative side. However, if you're looking for work that is not like that, or yung niche mo is more on, let's say, admin work or bookkeeping, IT support, what we're going to do instead so that you can create content for your portfolio is we're going to create tutorials. And anong mga klaseng tutorials yung gagawin natin? The kind of tutorials that we're going to make are tutorials for the tools that are related to your niche. So, for example, if you want to be a social media manager, we're going to be tackling tools that are related to social media. Kapag balak mo maging real estate VA, we're going to be tackling tools that are related to those. So, yun yung mga gagawin natin ng tools. Now, bakit tayo gagawa ng tutorial for our portfolio? Ano yung relevance niya? Now, the reason why we're going to create tutorials is because it's actually two-way. One, it will give you as the freelancer an idea kung paano ba ginagamit yung mga specific tools na to. So, when you apply for that particular niche, you have an edge already dahil alam mo na yung tool, familiar ka na. On the client side naman, it will give them the impression na you know what you're talking about, na you really know how to work the tool kasi ginawan mo na siya ng tutorial, diba? And then, at the same time, you're also showcasing kay client yung mga add-on skills mo, yung additional skills mo, like WordPress management, like yung pag-create ng presentation, yung Canva skills mo, because these are the tools that we're going to use in creating our portfolio. So, dagdag pa siya. Hindi lang yung tutorial yung pinapakita mo, you're also showcasing your other skills that you use behind the scenes, but makikita siya dun sa actual portfolio mo. Okay? So, let's go ahead and start creating our tutorials. To create your tutorial, you only need two things. The first one is your snipping tool, and ito yung icon niya. So when you click on it, it will give you this window, and the snipping tool allows you to cut a portion of your screen. And we're going to use this for our tutorial. Si snipping tool naman, kasama na siya kadalasan sa mga laptops and desktops pagbili natin. So all you have to do is check your programs and hanapin mo siya doon. Now, the next tool that we're going to use is Canva. It is an online graphics design tool. So this is Canva. Now, yes, our tutorial, pwede natin siyang gawin sa PowerPoint, pwede natin siyang gawin sa Google Slides, okay lang din. But the reason why we're doing it sa Canva is because Canva is the most common graphics design tool na ginagamit ng may mga online businesses. And they use it for a lot of things. They use it for their social media graphics, they use it for their newsletter graphics, for their blog post graphics, and for some, they even use it for their Shopify or their Amazon images as well. So, given the scope na kayang gawin sa Canva and how useful it is for online business owners, it's very important that you, as a service provider, as a freelancer, as a VA, it's very important for you to know how to use and navigate the tool. So, putting our tutorial sa Canva is actually an easy way for you to learn to be familiar with the tool, and it's an added perk. Okay, so for this one, all you have to do is go to canva.com and just create an account. So you have these options to sign up. You can also do it here. And don't worry, this is for free. They do have a paid plan, but you can already run away with their free version. It's all okay. Once you've created your account, ito yung magiging itsura niya. This is your homepage. This is your dashboard for your Canva account. And if this is the first time that you're going to use the tool, ignore everything muna and just follow the step-by-step process that I'm going to give you para hindi ka masyadong ma-overwhelm. But of course, feel free to play with it and navigate it because this is a very important tool. As soon as may account ka na, feel free to, just play around with it and get familiar with it. Okay, for our tutorial, what you're going to do is go to the search bar sa gitna, and then type mo lang dito, presentation. And then, we're going to choose one. So, you can choose a template, but at the same time, you can also choose blank. So, we'll choose blank. But don't worry if you change your mind and you decide to use a template, available din yung templates sa mismong page. The first thing that you're going to do is name your file. So, to name your file, go here, and then name mo lang siya. Ano ba yung magiging file name niya? It depends on the tool that you're going to use. So, for us, gagamitin nating tool is yan. Okay, so for this one, once manay mo na yung file mo, you can go ahead and choose yung template mo for your presentation. So for example, I choose this one. Okay, and this is going to be my cover. Click mo lang yung page na gusto mong gamitin. So click this for my cover. Okay. Yan. So, pwede mo na siyang gamitin. Pag may template ka na, pag meron ka ng Canva presentation na gagamitin, the next thing that we're going to do is to choose the tool that we're going to create a tutorial for. So, balik tayo ulit sa Google. And then from here, type mo lang tools, then used by. Now, for this one, since ang kailangan natin is yung mga tools na relevant sa niche na gusto natin i-support. So, for example, if you're a real estate VA, pwede mo siya i-type. If you're looking to be an Amazon VA, you can do that. If you're a data entry specialist, pwede mo rin i-plug dyan. If you're a bookkeeper, etc., etc. So, for our tutorial, we're going to use social media manager. Si Google, bibigyan tayo ng mga list. And what we're going to do is to check this one by one. Now, what we're looking for are tools na will allow us to create an account. As you can see here, this is the list of the mga common tools na ginagamit for social media. So, we're going to check each tool one by one. And again, ang hinahanap natin is yung tool na will allow us to create a free trial. So, I have here buffer na kasi this is what we're going to use. For example, hindi mo pa alam kung may free trial siya. The thing that you can do is go to their website and then dun mo hanapin. So, usually on the main page, sa homepage, makikita mo na dyan. This one, 14-day free trial. Pag wala dyan, the other place that you can look for is go to pricing and then usually dyan, i-indicate din niya. Alright, now how are we going to create our tutorial? Yung tutorial na gagawin natin is a step-by-step process kung paano i-navigate or gamitin yung particular tool that we've chosen. For example, for buffer. Always start with the homepage. Ito yung pinaka-homepage niya. What we're going to do is get our snipping tool. Then, grab this. So, the very first step na kailangan mong gawin is to create an account, right? So, yan yung kukunin natin. So, isi-save lang natin siya. And then, yun, you can rename it. Pag na-save mo na siya, balik ka ngayon sa Canva mo. And then, click on Add Page. You can delete that if you want to remove the color. Okay, then click on Upload dito sa left-hand side. Click on Upload an Image. Click on Device. And then, choose mo yung file na gusto mo i-upload. Pag na-upload na siya, makikita mo dito pag tapos na. Pag uploaded na siya, pwede mo lang siyang i-drag and drop dun sa page na lalagay mo siya. So, drag mo siya dyan. And then, pull the corners to resize. Center mo lang. Lalabas yung center line. Tapos, the next step is go to Elements. And then, dito sa search bar, type mo lang arrow. And then, choose the arrow that you wanted to use. Kasi nga, since tutorial siya, dapat may step-by-step process. Okay. So, ayan. So, if you want to create an account sa Buffer, what's the very first thing that you need to do? So, you can either click Try Buffer for Business or click on the Get Started Now. So as you can see, this is very much similar doon sa process na ginawa ko when I showed you how to create a WordPress account. Diba? It's a step-by-step process. May arrows kung saan sila kailangan pumunta. And then, meron siyang instruction. So for us to put the instruction, just go to text. Ito siya. And then, pili ka lang. So, how big yung gusto mo. Let's say, subheading. And this is still editable. So, if you want to edit the font, you can, ito yung font niya. Pwede mong i-edit kung anong gusto mo. Ito yung size ng font. Ito yung colors ng font. You can make it bold, italics. Pwede mo rin siyang i-left align, or justified, or centered. Yan. Pwede bullets. And ito yung spacing. So, line height and letter spaces. Ayan. So, it's up to you to use that. Okay. So, we'll leave it as it is. Now, ang gagawin natin is, ilalagay natin yung exact step na kailangan nilang gawin. Let's say, click on Try Buffer for Business. Now, we want to make sure na isang step lang per page. So, dito, since dalawa yung arrow natin, what we're going to do is make it 2 pages. So, click mo lang itong duplicate. And then, since try Buffer for Business yung sa unang page mo, page 2 mo, you can now remove this one, and then ito na lang. Or, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Or, click on Get Started Now. Yan. So, pwede mo siya i-bold. Pwede mo siya i-change ng color. So, the idea here is the more pages, the better. Pag naka-create ka na ng account, for example, sa Buffer, pasok ka na ngayon, and then what you're going to do is to talk about each of the buttons that you can see within the tool. For example, paano i-connect si Instagram, paano i-connect si Twitter, ano yung magagawa mo sa manage social accounts, how can you add a post, ano yung queue, ano yung analytics, settings, etc. Step by step, just go through the different parts of the tool. And yun yung magiging tutorial mo. Now, just continue adding on a page. Just put the image that you snipped, and then indicate mo lang with an arrow kung ano yung kailangan nilang gawin, ano yung kailangan nila i-click, saan sila kailangan pumunta, and then put a label kung ano yung exactong thing na kailangan nilang gawin, kung ano yung step na kailangan nilang i-accomplish. And then, also remember to name your actual presentation. So, balik ka sa first page mo, this one, and then palitan mo siya ng name. So, how are you going to name your tutorial? Name mo siya in a way that it's going to be beneficial for the client. Balik pa rin tayo doon. How are we going to provide help para sa needs nila. So, since si Buffer is an automation tool gamit for social media, what you can actually say is, let's say, how to use Buffer to automate your social media posts. So, ito na natin. Yeah. And then, you can there you go. Name your tutorial in a way that it will solve a particular problem ni client. Now, once you're happy with your entire tutorial, the next step that we're going to do is kailangan natin ngayong ilagay siya sa WordPress. And I will be showing that to you next. Once you're happy with your tutorial, the next step that we're going to do is to make this tutorial available sa WordPress natin. And we're going to do that by creating a post. So we need to go back sa WordPress, and then this is how we're going to create a post. So go back ka dito sa site, and then click the drop down, and then click on post. Now you actually have two options on how you can create one. So actually from the outside, pwede ka na mag-click agad ng right. Itong right button, you can already click that. Or from inside the post, you can just click on add new post. So what we did is actually the long way. So let's try that. This is how it's going to look like. And it's very much similar dun sa paggawa natin ng pages. Now you can first add the title. It's all up to you. You can have a new one, or you can also use the title that you used for your tutorial. So we'll use that for the meantime. And ito namang part na to, dito mo ilalagay yung file. Sa WordPress kasi, their sections are divided into blocks. And this is from this icon. So if you click on this icon, ito yung mga options mo. You can have a paragraph block, an embed block, etc., etc. So dito lang muna tayo magfo-focus sa dalawang to. What I would suggest is for you to at least put an introduction kung tungkol saan yung tutorial mo. Lalagay lang ako dyan. Ayan. Now, it's all up to you how you want to word it. But yeah, a short introduction will be great. Now, pag gusto mo nang gumawa ng panibagong block, all you have to do is press on enter. And then, click mo ulit itong plus sign. And then now, we have to choose embed since we're going to get yung file from Canva. Okay. Pag lumabas na itong block na to, go back to Canva. And then, let's get the file. To do that, press mo itong three buttons, yung three dots. And then, hanapin mo yung embed. And then, click on it. And then, press embed again. Okay, since we're working with WordPress, you can use the Smart Embed link. So just click on copy. And then go back to WordPress. And then paste mo siya dito. And then click on embed. And then as you can see, andito na siya. Now, if you want again to add a closing description, just click on the plus sign one more time. Choose paragraph. And then, lagyan mo lang siya ulit ng closing description. So that's how you create a post. The next step for this is for you to publish it. So to do that, just click on this button, the publish button. And ito yung mga settings mo. So the visibility is public. It will be published immediately. You also have the options to add tags. For now, we'll just leave it and just go straight to publishing it. Okay, now as you can see here, your post is now live. Means available na siya for the public. So you can, ito yung link niya. You can view post and you can copy the link. So let's go ahead and view it. Alright. So, ayan na siya. Ayan na yung post mo. And then, when you go back to your home page, lalabas na siya dito. Now, this one, kaya siya may image, is kasi meron akong header image. I will be creating a separate tutorial for that. For now, you can leave it as it is. Okay, so that's how we create a post. What you need to do is to create at least 15 of these tutorials. 10 to 15, it's up to you. The more, the better. And yun yung magiging basis ng portfolio mo. What if you wanted to cover different niches sa tutorials mo? For example, you wanted to be a social media manager, but at the same time, you also wanted to be an Amazon VA. So, paano mo siya gagawin? What you can do in those instances is i-separate mo sila by category. Para yung mga tutorial na specific for social media management, nandun lang siya magkakasama. And the same goes for your Amazon VA tutorials. And I will show you how to do that. One thing that you need to understand about WordPress is that medyo may pagka-fickle siya in the sense na minsan may mga certain actions na hindi nagwo-work sa'yo, pero sa iba nagwo-work only because magkaiba kayo ng settings. For example, like this one, yung website natin ngayon, it's set up in a way na yung menus natin is vertical siya. Diba? Pababa siya. Ngayon, since maglalagay tayo ng separate categories, what we need is gawin natin siyang horizontal para mas makita and mas ma-highlight yung mga subcategories. Now, there's a way to work with this theme, but an easier way to do that is to actually just change the theme para mag-suit dun sa needs natin. So, first and foremost, let's go ahead and change the theme muna para makahanap tayo ng theme na will allow us to have horizontal menus. To do that, balik ulit sa homepage mo. And then, close mo tong site. Go to design. And then, punta ka sa themes. Tapos, hanap ka lang dito ng mga free. For example, this one. As you can see, yung menus niya is horizontal. So, we can try this one. To activate it, just click these 3 buttons and then click activate. And then, activate mo lang ulit. And then, go to the customize site. Yan. So, as we can see here, ito na siya. Meron na tayong horizontal view. So, labas na tayo dito. To set your categories, punta ka muna sa post mo. So, go to post again. And then, punta ka dun sa pinaka-recent na ginawa mo. And then, click on these 3 dots. And then, click on edit. Dito sa sidebar mo, look for categories. And then, click on add new category. And then, lagay mo dyan tutorials. Then, add mo muna. So, dito na siya. Tapos, make another one in relation dito sa tutorial na ginawa mo. So, this is for social media. So, lagay natin social media management. And then, do sa parent category, click the drop down, and then choose tutorials. And then, add mo ulit. Okay? And then, update mo na yung post mo. Now, meron na tayong categories. What we're going to do now is kailangan na natin siyang ilagay sa main page para magkaroon tayo ng menu. So, the next thing that we're going to do is to add the menus. To do that, go to Design, and then go to Customize. Then, Itong menu, click mo, click primary, and then click on add items. Okay, so from here, ang kailangan natin piliin is categories. So you can actually make a menu based from posts and then based on tags. For us, we're going to use categories. So click on the drop down and then click mo to. Ayan. And then, nandun na siya. So as you can see here, andito na siya. Pwede mo siyang i-arrange. Ayan. Currently, nasa, lang siya, pinaka-top sa tutorials. So, ang kailangan natin gawin is magkaroon tayo ng sub-menus para lumabas yung other categories. Di ba gumawa tayo kanina ng one for social media management? So, gagawa natin siya ng drop-down. To do that, balik ka ulit dito, add items. And then, categories ulit. And then, this one, choose mo lang siya. So, magkakaroon siya ng checkmark. Okay? And then, click on add items. And then, pag lumabas na yung parang compass arrow, drag mo lang siya, hold and click, and then drag mo siya, lagay mo siya under tutorials. And then, makikita mo ito, meron ka ng drop-down. May social media management ka na. So, every time you create a post, kailangan mo siyang i-categorize accordingly para mapunta siya dun sa tamang drop-down. And then, same goes lang din. Kung halimbawa gagawa ka ng panibago, let's say, Amazon VA, gawan mo rin siya ng menu, like what we did kanina, and then i-add mo lang din siya dito, and then i-drag mo siya under tutorials. And you will have it. Now, once you're happy with the setup, just go up dito, and then click on Save Changes. So, just go to home. And then, pag visit mo yung site mo, andito na siya. Ayan. Meron ka ng drop-down. So, that's how you can put yung different tutorials mo into different categories. Ganun mo siya i-categorize. And that's how you can do it. So, that's it for our portfolio creation tutorial. If you want to see a sample of the tutorials that I did make, I will be leaving a link sa description below. Just feel free to check that out. And please, again, remember to subscribe to the channel para ma-update ka lagi sa mga new videos and tutorials that I will be making. Thanks again for watching.